200 personalized emails leave this machine every day. It picks who gets them, writes each one, and reads every reply. Nobody sits at the keyboard while it happens. 6 weeks ago, I handed an autonomous agent an entire business and closed the laptop. It runs without me, but running clean from the inside told me nothing about the outside. I had no way to know how many of those emails land in an inbox instead of a spam folder. You have run a coding agent on real work by now, not a toy. You reviewed every diff before it merged. You read the change, you decided, then you let it land. This machine hands you no diff. It performs an act in the world, an email to a stranger, a charge on a card. There is no review step because the review step was you and you are asleep. That is a different kind of scary. A bad commit, you revert. A cold email to the wrong person, you cannot unsend. The failure is not a stack trace. It is in someone's inbox with your name on it. So the real question was never whether an agent can write code. It was this: what has to be true before you let software act on real strangers while you sleep? Here is my one receipt before the tour, a commit log, authors only, 102 self-driven commits over 6 weeks from June into late July. Every one of them the machines, none of them mine. The same kind of autonomous loop I take apart on this channel built this one. But that is not today's story. Today is what it built and everything it runs on its own. So here is the whole machine in one breath. It finds a business to sell to. It audits their website. It writes them a personalized pitch. It sends that pitch legally. It reads their reply. It takes the payment. Then it delivers the product. 7 steps: discover, audit, compose, send, classify, charge, deliver. No human stands between any two of them. Let me walk each one. The whole thing runs on 2 clocks. One timer fires every 6 hours and walks the full pipeline. A second timer fires every 10 minutes just to check for anything needing a fast answer. So when a stranger replies at 2 in the morning, the machine reacts within minutes. Not the next business day, minutes. That 10-minute tick is the difference between a batch job and something that feels alive. Step 1. It finds its own customers. It runs searches across a set of niches. It pulls in e-commerce and small business sites, then filters them down to real prospects worth contacting. By one snapshot in late June, it had qualified 848 businesses. It fully audited 445 of them. Nobody handed it a lead list. It went and built one. Step 2, it audits each site before it says a word. This is not opinion. It runs evidence-first checks against the real page. Is the store slow? Is it missing basic trust signals? Is the checkout doing something that quietly loses sales? Every finding folds into one health score from 0 to 100. That score is the hook for everything the email says next. Step 3, a language model writes the email. It does not write filler. It quotes the audit. It names the exact things wrong on that exact site. In plain words, in a few short lines. Every email differs because every site differs. The model writes each one for roughly 2 cents. 2 cents for a pitch that reads like a person wrote it after actually looking. Step 4, it sends. This is where a naive setup gets you blacklisted on day 1. You cannot blast 200 cold emails from a fresh domain, so the machine warms up slowly, climbing over weeks across 2 sending identities until it reaches 200 a day. Slow on purpose so the inbox providers learn to trust it. Whether an email actually lands is a separate war. Step 5, it reads the replies. A second language model call sorts every response that comes back. Interested, not right now. Unsubscribe, a bounce, an out-of-office auto reply, or the one label that matters most, needs a human. Anything it is not sure about, it does not answer. It flags it and waits for me. The machine knows the edge of its own competence, and it stops there. The rarest thing to build into software is the restraint to do nothing. Step 6 and 7, a prospect says yes, and the machine replies with a payment link. It watches for the checkout to clear, then rescans the site and delivers the report in the same thread. Charge, fulfill, deliver. No human touches the money or the product. And the machine does not chase every niche equally. A self-learning bandit steers the whole thing. Every night it looks at what is working and reweights where tomorrow's effort goes. The niches that reply get more, the dead ones get less, but never nothing, so it keeps exploring. This is a system that actually changed its own behavior over 6 weeks. How it learns gets an episode of its own. The part that let me leave. A test sandbox is supposed to be a sealed room. Mine reached through the wall and cold emailed real strangers. One stale flag let a test run reach real stores, twice. The fix was not a better flag, It was structural. Any database whose name ends in dev now refuses to send, and a name is the one wall a flag can never flip. That is the real lesson of unattended work. You do not earn autonomy with trust. You earn it with the hard stops you build before you leave the chair. But hard stops are my word for it. So I did not grade this alone. Before I trusted it, 65 separate AI agents reviewed the entire codebase. They read more than 4 million tokens. They found 7 high-severity issues, 29 medium, and a stack of minor ones, and 0 blockers. Nothing that had to stop a release, 65 reviewers, and not one found a reason it could not ship. And it does not stay reviewed by hand. Roughly 570 automated tests guard this tree. They run the moment anything changes. Every commit the machine promotes has to pass them first. Here is what all of that costs to run. At launch volume, under $2 a day. $2 a day to keep the entire machine discovering, auditing, writing, sending, and reading around the clock. The expensive part of autonomy was never the compute. It was designing something you could actually trust to run without you standing over it. So step back and look at the whole shape of it. It finds strangers, studies them, writes to them, reads their replies, takes their money, and hands over the product on 2 timers with nobody watching. As a feat of engineering, it is complete. Every step from stranger to delivery runs without me. And yet, everything I just described is what the machine does from the inside. It sends 200 emails a day, and it sorts every reply that comes back. But a machine that sends without a hiccup has only proven it can send. What it cannot measure is how many of those 200 a day actually land in an inbox. Not the spam folder no one opens. Sent is not arrived. And a handful of stray replies cannot tell me that rate. So one thing before you close your own laptop, take a system you let run unattended, find the worst thing it could do to a stranger. Then make something structural stop it, not a flag you might forget. Next episode, the last mile, the inbox. The perfect email that landed in spam, and the law that governs it. Subscribe, and you get the whole machine, one layer at a time.